This is a lecture on 415 in Signing Naturally, page 210 forward. I just wanted to reiterate some of the things that you read here about the importance of maintaining a clear sight line. Obviously, in American Sign Language, ASL, it's a visual language, so anything that interferes with the visual line of sight will interfere with the language transmission, language reception. So you must make sure that you're always maintaining clear sight lines. That may mean that you, as the person who is observing the signer, and the signer is located in one position, one location, you yourself will have to make modifications and move. That could mean that there's somebody else in your way, another deaf person in your way, or it could be a hearing person in your way. It could be some sort of obstruction, like a pole, a tree, a podium, a chair, anything. So you will have to make a modification if the signer, person who's signing, can't move. Sometimes you may be sitting down and you may have to stand up. A lot of this is common sense. Or you're laying down, you may have to sit up, stand up, move, whatever. If both of you are signing back and forth, then you can make the necessary modifications. In this day of social distancing, obviously, you need to be at least 6 feet apart, if not more. And so you shouldn't be close to each other anyway. So if you're in a crowded area or an area with other people, you need to move to a location where it's just you two signing. And one thing I want to add in here that I don't think the book adds is that in this day and age, when more people are becoming savvy and knowledgeable about ASL, bear in mind that you may think your conversation is private, but if there are other people in the area who know sign language, it's not. And although in terms of manners and ethics, kindness, consideration of others, the other people who know sign language, falls upon them to let you know that, hey, by the way, just in a casual sort of way, hi, how are you? Like, just to say, hi, how are you? I know sign language, kind of like a hint, like, don't say anything about me, or don't say anything that you don't want me to repeat or you don't want me to see. So they're kind of like letting you know, like, hey, I know sign language, just letting you know. It's considered polite, just like in other cultures. If there's a person speaking English, person speaking Spanish, and two people were speaking Spanish in front of an English speaker, or there are other English speakers around, but if one of the English speakers knows Spanish, it kind of behooves the English speaker who knows Spanish to like, perdón, yo hablo español, like I speak Spanish, or I speak a little bit of Spanish, whatever, just to let them know, like, oh, okay, we need to be careful now. So they shouldn't be saying anything anyway, nasty, whatever, that they don't want repeated. But in this day and age, you have to assume that people know other languages, and that could include Spanish, English, French, German, whatever, and these days also ASL, American Sign Language. So it's good to just let people know that I know sign language, and I can see you signing, and just to like put you on caution, don't say anything you don't want me to see. Also with sight lines, as we have gone through our class from the very beginning of the semester, I stressed with all of you that the importance that we all need to see each other, and that's why we moved to a different classroom. Our initial classroom was set up with rows horizontal, and me standing in front and trying to maneuver around all of you so you could see me, all of you could see me, but you couldn't see each other. So that's why we moved to a different classroom. Sorry, I touched my face. Moved to a different classroom, which had a semicircle. And if you go to Gallaudet University as an observer or as a student, or NTID, National Technical Institute for the Deaf in Rochester, New York, you will notice that all the classrooms there are set up like ours was set up. They all are set up in a semicircle so everybody can see each other. So that's why there is no issues with a clear sight line. What other issues are they talking about here? Basically, use common sense. If you need to move, move. Also, things you need to consider with sight lines is like visual disturbances. Remember, visual noise, like things that are interfering with the line of sight or intrusive to your vision, like flashing lights, a thunderstorm with lightning, lights going on and off, or if, like I just said, flashing lights. If someone's in a classroom and the lights are dimmed to show a movie, bear in mind, maybe you can't see each other because the light is dimmed and you don't have the necessary illumination to see each other. So anything that would bother a hearing person in terms of sound, you have to make the same consideration when you're thinking about a deaf person in terms of visual language and sight. So if you need to turn the lights up, if you need to ask the deaf person the deaf person may have their back to an open window or their back to the sun, and the sun is in your eyes as you're watching them, and you really, it's like, I can't see you for the glare. You might have to ask them to move, or you might have to move yourself so they no longer have that bright, annoying background. So just keep all of those things in mind, all right?